Haney about to duck Shakur Stevenson because prior to his fight with Vasyl Lomachenko, he was talking about fighting Shakur Stevenson next. But now he's saying that he'll fight Stevenson eventually when the time is right, sometime down the line. He seems to have changed his tune. So I'm going to quote Devin Haney here. He said that Bob, as in Bob Arum, hasn't mentioned Stevenson's name to him. He said, Bob ain't said his name, my phone ain't ringing. But nah, listen, of course, I've been very vocal about that me and Shakur are on a collision course, whether it's at 135, whether it's at 140, whether it's at 147. We're definitely on a collision course, and we definitely are going to get it on when the time is right. You know, if I can't get those fights next, or it doesn't make sense for it to be next, I'll probably go to 140, test it out, see how I feel at that weight at 140. And then when the time is right, then I'll defend my belts at 135. We'll just see though. I've got to go back and talk with the team and see what makes the most sense. That's really all it boils down to. So it doesn't sound like Devin Haney wants to fight Shakur Stevenson anytime soon. Has the extremely close nature of his fight with Vasyl Lomachenko actually taken a little bit of his confidence away? Before the Lomachenko fight, he was talking about how he expected to win it in dominant fashion and how that would prove to the world that he is just as good, if not better, than the likes of Tank and Shakur Stevenson. Does he still believe that now? Or as I say, has his confidence been dented a little bit? He can talk about the judges' scorecards all he wants. Deep down, he knows that that fight could have gone either way. Shakur Stevenson is currently ranked in the top 4 of all the major sanctioning bodies at 135 pounds. But he isn't ranked number 1 or mandatory by any of them. So this, of course, gives Devin Haney a lot of time with regards to that particular opponent. Stevenson's probably going to have to maneuver himself into a mandatory position and force that Devin Haney fight, assuming Devin Haney doesn't give up the belts and start campaigning at 140. We saw at 140 how difficult it was for Josh Taylor to keep hold of all the belts because of the various mandatory obligations. Is it going to be the same for Devin Haney? Is he going to start getting stripped soon and have to give up some belts? That's the way it goes for most undisputed champions, unless your name's Canelo. If Stevenson does have to force a mandatory, who might he fight in a final eliminator? So for example, as it stands right now, Stevenson is ranked number 3 with the WBC. Above him is Isaac Cruz at number 2 and Lomachenko at number 1. These rankings might change in light of Lomachenko losing to Devin Haney. Maybe he'll drop down a couple places, I'm not sure. But as I say, as it stands right now, Isaac Cruz is 2, Lomachenko's number 1. Could we see Shakur Stevenson fight Isaac Cruz or Lomachenko in a final eliminator for the WBC? I like both those fights, by the way. With the WBA, Stevenson is ranked number 4. Above him is Lomachenko, Frank Martin, and William Zepeda. I'd particularly like to see Stevenson against Frank Martin. Lomachenko's also a great fight. He's ranked number 4 as well with the IBF. Above him, Lomachenko again. Number 2 is not rated. The number 1 is Gustavo Lemos. And with the WBO, Stevenson is ranked at number 2, and there's only Lomachenko above him. Lomachenko, of course, has been talking about getting the decision against Haney overturned. I can't see that happening. The next best thing, perhaps, is for one of the sanctioning bodies to order an immediate rematch, and failing that, a final eliminator, maybe against Stevenson, and the winner gets a crack at Devin Haney, or whoever has the belts after that elimination match. Maybe Haney moves up or gets stripped, whatever the case may be. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Is Devin Haney planning to duck Shakur Stevenson? All this talk about fighting Stevenson next seems to have evaporated. I'm not dissing Devin Haney here, people. Understand what my channel is about. Objectivity. I'm not here to make friends or fanboy for any fighter. That's why I can praise a fighter in one breath and criticize him in another breath. Everyone can get the smoke here. Nobody's safe on this channel. What you guys need to understand, especially some of the new subscribers. And just because I criticize a fighter, it doesn't mean I got something against him. I got nothing against Devin Haney, but I have to be real. He's not talking the same way after the Lomachenko fight about Stevenson the way he was before the Lomachenko fight, where he was acting like he wanted all the smoke. Now he's a bit wishy-washy with it. But maybe Bob Arum, Top Rank, if they do decide to talk to Devin Haney about the Stevenson fight, maybe they show him a number that he can't refuse. Obviously, Devin Haney at this point is a free agent. He could sign with PBC. He could sign with Bob Arum again. He could sign with Golden Boy. He could sign with Eddie Hearn. It's going to be interesting to see which direction he goes in. And if he does want to test the waters at 140, what level fight is that going to be? Will it just be against a regular contender? Will he try to go up there and get a crack at one of the champions? And if he manages to beat that champion, will he stay there and give up his belts at 135, or will he come back down? You know the way Canelo's been doing, where he went up to 175, fought Dimitri Bivol, came back down, defended his undisputed at 168. Is that what Devin Haney is looking to do? Will he be permitted to do that by the sanctioning bodies? Do you think he should be allowed to do that by the sanctioning bodies? Is there anyone at 135 pounds outside of, let's say, Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and Lomachenko, who you think could beat Devin Haney? Let's say he gets a different mandatory put on him. Isaac Cruz, Frank Martin. Do you think those guys would have a chance of beating Devin Haney? Food for thought. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section below. Are you sick and tired of the mainstream mindset? Does the dogmatic conformity and pathological ignorance have you tearing your hair out in frustration? Then don't be alone. Come and join our brotherhood on Patreon. We stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. You'll gain access to my weekly topical podcast, where we take more deep dives than Jacques Cousteau on an endless variety of subjects. There's also videos, interviews, live Q&As, as well as a vast back catalogue of previous episodes, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen via the Patreon app or download in high-quality MP3. Connect with myself and hundreds of other members in our Element chat group. There's no contract, no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a Mickey D's McMuffin. Just head to my Patreon page via the link below this video and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. I'll see you over there.